everyone, welcome to Mark's Finance and Fitness. My last video I let you know why I've been absent and it was due to a surgery. This video I want to go over what the surgery was and what to expect to help those that might be going through the same thing. What I went through, I had an inguinal hernia, and this is where there's a tear in the muscle wall and your insides basically can come out of that tear. It could be your fat, it can be your intestines and appendix. It just depends. So it can be from mild to serious. Now, if you get a hernia, there's only one way to fix it, and that's through surgery. I've been through this twice already. Recently was my second time, and there's really no rhyme or reason to why you can get a hernia, but there are some things that make you more likely to get it. So I did some research. Definitely, it could be genetic. So you can have a thinner muscle wall or just your structure is different. It can be from coughing or sneezing really hard or continuously, or it can be from lifting up something really heavy and overstraining yourself. So in my case, I don't think it was from working out. It could be genetic, or what I think it was is I have pretty bad seasonal allergies. And last year there was a lot of wildfires, which caused, kind of some of my asthma and allergies to happen, and so I was coughing a lot last year, and I think that's what led to this. As far as surgery goes, the first time I had it, I had an open incision. I'll go through that a little bit more to compare, but this time I had what was called laparoscopic robotic surgery. So what is that? That is basically where they make 3 incisions in your stomach, so hopefully a picture's popping up now. On me, they did it kind of high up. Some other videos I've seen, they've done it on the belly button line, but here's my 3 scars. So they make 3 incisions. One incision is where they enter in a tool that will inflate your stomach, and they inflate it with harmless gas, and that allows the surgeon to look around and see. The other 2 is where they enter in tools to do the repair. Now there's 2 different types of laparoscopic surgeries. One where the doctor is kind of, manually with a 2D camera looking at a screen, repairing everything, getting to that point and repairing. And then the one that I got was robotic. So it's literally a robot, a controlled robot that goes in there and does the surgery. So the doctor's at like a console, kind of like a screen, and he's controlling the robot that's doing the surgery. So it's kind of neat. The thing with the robotic that I like is that I think it's probably more accurate. I've researched that, the tools are able to bend in ways with the robot that they wouldn't with the other laparoscopic. And instead of a 2D camera, the robotic surgery has a 3D camera, which allows the doctor to see very clear images. And it was very cool. After my surgery, I was sent home with some pictures of my insides, so it's kind of cool if you like that kind of stuff. So I had a hernia. I had to get it surgically repaired. That's the only way you can repair a hernia. Sometimes you can have a very minor hernia that doesn't even bother you, so you can probably go a few years without getting it fixed. But at some point you will need to get it fixed, especially if it's bothering you. My advice is just get it done as soon as you can. That way you're on the road to recovery and it's behind you sooner than later. I'm glad mine is behind me, trust me. And so I want to tell you about the experience. The day of surgery, of course, I was nervous, but they put you under, and the difference between the open incision is you're under for about 45 minutes to an hour. That's the procedure length. This one is at least an hour and a half. Mine lasted a little over 2 hours. So you're under longer when they do the laparoscopic, but it's considered minimally invasive, which it's still going to hurt no matter which one you do. And it's going to be similar recovery, but a little bit better with the laparoscopic, in my opinion. So I was under for a little over 2 hours, and when you wake up, you don't really feel any pain. They have you definitely under a lot of pain meds. Definitely need somebody to drive you home. I recommend that you're gonna need a nice recliner to sleep in. I bought one for this occasion. Now, I don't care what kind of recliner you have, it's not gonna be as comfortable as your bed. So just be prepared for that. I was in my recliner for probably 7 to 9 nights before I was able to get into my bed comfortably. Okay, so laparoscopic surgery. The first thing that I wasn't prepared for was the gas that they inflate you with actually was very uncomfortable to painful the first couple days. The first night was the worst though. Now, the gas that they blow your stomach up with can go up to your shoulders and your neck area, so you can get some pain up here, so don't freak out if that happens. My main issue is with my stomach. It just felt like severe gas pains, and every breath I took was painful. So that first night I didn't get any sleep, and I didn't really start getting relief till about 4 the next morning. So just be prepared for that. Of course, your groin area with an inguinal hernia is going to be very sore to painful at times. So that's why, sleeping in a recliner is best, because you don't realize your core abdominal muscles, you use those for basically everything you do. So you want to avoid laughing, sneezing, coughing. My brother stayed with me to help me out, and my mother, but I told my brother, let's keep it serious for the whole time you're here, because I don't want to laugh. I don't want to risk it, because last time made that mistake and I won't make that again. So I recommend you have someone stay with you for a week, preferably probably 2 weeks, because you're going to need help walking around, standing up, sitting down, just having someone cook you dinner. You don't realize how much abdominal surgeries affect you. Probably need help with showering, stuff like that. So the first 4 days were probably the worst. So plan on maybe 4 days of just, really taking it easy. It's recommended you walk as much as you can. So what I did is I walked every hour that I was awake. And you're gonna walk like you're 90 years old. You're gonna have small strides. It's important to keep your posture. The first time I did it, I was arched too much, and I think that just prolonged my recovery, because I had to straighten myself back up eventually, because I feel like I kind of healed in the arched position. With the laparoscopic, I have no problems really standing straight up and down where the open incision I did. But 5 minutes of walking the first 4 days might just be just around your kitchen island and back to the recliner. You're gonna move slowly, and that's okay. The reason why it's good to have someone with you is there might be a few moments where you have some sharp pain, and it might freak you out, and you might feel like you're gonna slowly fall to the ground because the pain, it's hard to stay standing up. So it was nice to have my brother, who's a strong guy, come and just be able to put his hands underneath my armpits and hold me up while I regain myself to keep walking. So definitely need somebody for that. Or sitting up, standing down, it's very sore and you want to go very slow. And the best way to do it is you want to lean as forward as you can and put your hands on your legs, in case you're going through this, because the nurse that I had was nice enough to tell me this. But the further you lean forward, the easier it's going to be. So if you're having pain trying to stand up, you might not be leaning forward enough. And you use your legs, and your hands are on your legs, and you just kind of push straight up, and then you put your hands back and you just lean very forward and sit down. And that was actually a huge help in getting in and out of the recliner or wherever I sat down. Your throat might be a little sore. They're gonna intubate you, put a tube down your throat to help you breathing. That's very normal. That was sore for about 3 days maybe. Not bad, but it was just a little sore. And then by day 5, I think that's when you start seeing, good improvement. Each day from there, I've seen improvement. So each day it's like, all right, I get a little happier and excited, but I keep in mind I still need to, listen to my body and take it slow, because you don't want to rush this. A lot of people think after a hernia surgery, you can just, especially I think the inguinal hernia is probably one of the more involved ones, and you're going to be out for a while. So you just need to mentally set yourself to that so you don't disappoint yourself. My first surgery, the open incision, it took me a whole year before I was back to where I was before my injury. And that's, working out how I was and hiking, stuff like that. It was a whole year before I felt like I was 100% recovered. Even though I might have a little bit of nerve damage from it, but it's nothing too bad. This one, I think I'm gonna do better, so I'm hoping maybe by 6 months I'll be back at it where I was before. I will say with the laparoscopic, there was a little less pain, and I feel like I'm healing quicker. So if you're going through laparoscopic, that's good. Just know it's going to be a longer surgery, so keep that in mind with anesthesia and stuff like that. Um, and then the thing, also something else that I didn't anticipate was how sore and tight my stomach has felt since the surgery. Even now on day 20, it's a little difficult to twist and it just feels tight. So I think over time that'll loosen up and get better. And so, every day gets better. Um, I'm walking around the block now. I'm able to get in and out of the bed by myself. So about night 7 or 9, I can't remember, when I first started sleeping in the bed, it's a little uncomfortable because I'm used to moving a lot in my sleep, so I'm not used to just sleeping on my back. And I'm not able to sleep on my sides yet. It's still too uncomfortable with my stomach area. It feels very tight and sore still. But the first maybe 4 nights I had to have help getting in and out of the bed, someone lifting up my upper torso and helping me pivot. But I'm now able to get in and out of bed. So my advice is, when you're laying in bed, you want to prop your knees up and then you want to roll into your side, put your legs on your feet on the, kind of starting to go off the bed. And then as they go down, you push your torso up and then you can get up. And that's how I got back on the bed. So that's my advice there. But yeah, just keep in mind it is a major surgery. The good news is it's very common. I think 1 in 4 males get an inguinal hernia. And so it is a very safe surgery. It's very routine for these doctors. They probably do, hundreds a year. Make sure you have a surgeon that has a lot of experience, especially if you're doing more technical robotic laparoscopic surgery. And I think that's just cool to know that a robot did my surgery. I don't know. And then the pictures they give you, it's neat. They described it to me and showed me where my hernia was and stuff like that. Trying to think if there's anything else that I would want to share. So first 4 days are, tough. Oh, you want to start taking a stool softener the day you get home from surgery, because any type of pushing is going to be very uncomfortable and might even hurt a little bit. So if you start that, you should be okay. So that's definitely some advice there. Just eat, high fiber, soft foods at first, so soups, stuff like that. And then you can gradually get back to your normal diet after probably a few days. I started eating pretty normal. But yeah, I'm walking around the block now, about 3 times a day. I'm able to drive. So driving is still uncomfortable, especially if there's bumps in the road. So I started driving, we'll say about day 15 or 16. Was my first drive, and I was very cautious. I drove at 2 feet, which I know you shouldn't, but since it was on my right side, I didn't want to have to worry about hitting the gas too hard, or the brake. I hit the gas hard anyways, I'm a fast driver. But the brake, I didn't want to, have to worry about slamming on the brake and really being sore. So I drove for 2 feet, with 2 feet like that. For the first maybe 2 times I drove, then I was comfortable just driving normal. But I would say in turns, if you turn too sharp, you'll feel it in your stomach, because like I said, my stomach's still sore. And then if you have any decent bumps, you'll feel that in the groin and the stomach area. But I started driving about day 16, just short drive. So getting in and out of the car is a little difficult. It's like getting in and out of bed. So just got to be patient with yourself. But overall, you're going to be fine. I want you to know you'll get through this. I've been through 2 now. The open incision was more painful and I felt a longer recovery, but they're both pretty similar. The laparoscopic to me is just a step up in as far as it's a little bit better in the pain. I feel I'm recovering quickly. It'll be a while probably before I start working out, maybe another 3 weeks. The nurse said by week 6 is when I'll be at my full healing point. And she said, just start introducing things back as your body lets you. And your body will let you know if you're doing something you shouldn't, trust me. But, if you get past those first 4 days, after that, the improvements you see each day are mentally awesome. And so you'll get there. Just take a break, from working out, all that stuff, accept it. Spend time with your family. There's some good things that come out of it. Do some reading, watch some good movies. I definitely had time to watch good movies. I'm always on the go, so that was nice. And just know that you'll be fine. And with most hernia meshes, I think 97% they put a mesh in there, so you're gonna have a mesh. You might feel it here and there. I felt it more with the open incision because with the open incision they put the mesh on top of the muscle, where with the laparoscopic they go in behind the muscle and put the mesh. So I think you don't feel it as much. So open incision, you'll feel the mesh more. It doesn't hurt or nothing, it's just weird. And this one I feel slightly here and there, but it's really not too prominent. But I think the mesh is the way to go in my opinion. It's just, the tissues grow around it. It creates a very solid area, which hopefully, these have a 1 to 3% reoccurrence rate, so it's very low with the mesh. And try to stay away from the computer. There's some horror stories out there, and I watched some YouTube videos of the surgery. I probably shouldn't have, but just know that this surgery is so common. Just look up how many people have hernias, inguinal hernias surgeries a year. It's massive. So of course you're going to get probably 1% of those that maybe it doesn't go as successfully. So don't let it scare you. Trust me, you're going to be fine. Just pick a good experienced doctor. So from this point going forward, this will be my only video on my surgery, my inguinal hernia that was robotically done. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Maybe one would be how big are the incisions? They're about the width of my thumb, so 3 of those. They didn't really hurt the incisions, maybe a little bit here and there, like very minor, like a pain level of 1 to 3, so not too bad. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them below. I know I watched some other people's videos and it really helped me prepare myself, and everyone gives their own tips and advice, so I think it's good. So I hope to help you with that, and just know you're going to be fine. Life is full of challenges and things like this, so you just got to learn to take a break sometimes. Financial and fitness is my channel, so finance-wise, always have a rainy day fund. I did, and it really takes the stress off of something like this when something comes up that you have to have an expense for. And fitness-wise, fitness is all about making it through those challenges, and we're going to have those. And I took care of this instead of prolonging it or holding it off, so that way I can get back to my fitness sooner. And so now I'm just trying to focus on eating healthy until I can get back to working out, and then I'll loosen up a little bit on that because you have to live life. But I'm really trying to offset it with eating healthy now. And forgive the belly that I showed you earlier. If you watch one of my last punching videos, I had somewhat of a six-pack, but now I have a little belly from the gas they inflate with, and they said that'll fully go back to normal over time. So I'll get back to that. I look forward to it. But yeah, going forward, I'll probably start doing some financial videos first, and then maybe show you my progress here and there. Maybe the walking or maybe slight hikes I'm doing, or when I introduce my workouts again, just to encourage you guys and let you know you're going to be fine. So I look forward to seeing you guys next time and sharing some financial stuff with you. I have some things that I've done, and have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon on Mark's Finance and Fitness.